this will be also confirmed, and we can confirm the wallet. From that moment, every single trade that this trader is gonna doing, our wallet also executes. So really fast and very simple. Another thing that I just want to point out also right here in the beginning, if we want to monitor our trades, we can have something like the trade monitor where we click on it and we see all the positions of our tokens that we are holding. Here, for example, if I just choose one of those, let's say we go on number 17, Pro token, we can see here all the data. We see the time elapsed, 54 hours that I'm holding this token. I can see the amount of the token that I'm holding. I can see the initials, meaning I'm holding $30 of this. I bought for $30. Right now it's worth $80. So I'm now 165% in plus. And from here, I have the chance to also sell it manually if I don't want to wait for the trader to be selling. So I have here the option for 25%, 50%, 75, 100, or set a different amount. Here I can just, for this example, I will click on sell 25% now. I can click on confirm, meaning the transaction is going through right away. And you will see transaction is done, P&L picture is created, and we can see I just closed manually this trade with 166%. So that's all about the functions that we have here. Jumping now right into the next one, which we will see and show the people how exactly can we track those wallets and how can we find that? Because I think that's the most interesting part for a lot of people here. So what we do here is we go to the website GMGM. And what we like to filter through is we see all the data of those tokens that get launched every single day. What we are looking for is fresh meme coins. Why? Because we don't want to have some meme coins that have some 412 days, 315 days, 412 days, because this means that you will only find whales that holds this token for a long time. And we don't want to hold a meme coin for way too long. We just want to get in at a good position and get out with a good profit. So that's what we are looking for. So how do we do that? We look for projects that are really, really new. So we look for projects that are between 0 and 30 days maximum. That's the filter that we're looking for. What I always like to do is I filter through the market cap, because by that I see the most and the best cryptos or best projects that come up right now with the most volume. And there's volume, something's good is happening there. And then I just check projects which have like a low day amount. Like for example, here, 5 days. You can also see here, way lower we row. Okay, we can also see 3 days. Okay, so when I see a project which has like a good market cap and also a low age amount, we can then look deeper into that. So we can go, for example, for Chill Guy. When we click at the chart, we then can see this whole chart movement of this token, which we can always see is very similar. At the beginning, only a few people entering in, and then the price skyrockets. So what we do with this information, we can scroll down and we can see all the buys and all the sells. But what's interesting for us is how can we find the traders that enter this low and exit with a high amount? So that we can do by clicking on traders. And here we can filter all the traders that made the most profit by entering with a low amount and also then exiting with a high amount. That's what we are looking for. But it's important here to say that because there will also be people that entering at 40,000 and exiting with 140,000. That's only a 4x. That's not really that interesting. We are looking for people that entering with a very low amount and exiting with a really high amount. So when we do that, we can just scroll in here. And at the same time, while we're looking at the small amount and a high amount on the right side, we can also on the left side just hover over with our mouse and we can see all the data. And what I'm looking for is a high win rate. We can see here, for example, you can see on the right side, you will see how much he bought for. Next one is how much he sold, the P&L, the balance. And then below, that's what we're looking for, is the 7-day win rate, which is here saying 35%. And the 7-day P&L is here 237. So even when the P&L is good, the win rate is not that interesting. So we can do that by just hovering over each one. Don't have to look into deeper. This one only has a 41% win rate. This one has a 60, which is better. This one, for example, it's loading, has a 75. So we can click on that and we can look deeper into that wallet. So when we look into that wallet, the first thing that I always want to check, okay, the win rate is good, but the win rate is not everything, because it's also possible that people with a high win rate have unrealized profits. What does this mean? Meaning that people buy tokens, and a lot of those tokens, they don't even sell, meaning they still holding them even when they're 80 or 90% negative. So they don't sell it because then it will affect their win rate. So they just leave it dead in the wallet. So how can we track that? By looking at the unrealized profit, which we can see here. When we see the unrealized profit is also positive, this is a green sign. When there is unrealized profit that's negative, that's always a red flag for us, and we don't want to look deeper into that wallet. Okay, so we see now the win rate, we see the total P&L, which is also positive. We see the unrealized profits, also positive. And we can see the last 7 days, this guy made 747% and $120,000. But we also can see the distribution, meaning all of his trades, meaning this wallet is a fresh one, as we can see only 9 trades, 3 above 500, 4 between 0 and 200, and only 2 between 0 and -50. So even this data is okay. So what are we looking for now? Now, timing is key. We are looking how long is it ago that this guy was trading, because we don't want to follow a trader that traded 3 months ago, but someone who's trading right now. And we can see here on the right side, the age. So to make a small explanation about everything that we see here, we see on the left side, the token. On the very left side, we see if it was a buy or a sell. Then we see the total USD amount. And we see on the right side, then the profit or the negative that he made. On the total right side, we can see the age. So what we're looking for here is when we look at those points and those buys and the sells, we want to have between a buy and a sell at least more than 3 minutes in between. Because we don't like when someone's buying and he's selling 1 minute after or 2 minutes after, because this can mean that he's a sniper. Meaning when he enters the market, the price goes up, you enter also the market and he already sells, grabbing your liquidity. In the books, it will look like that he made profit, but you will wonder yourself, why am I getting out with negative profits? So that's the reason. And how to be safe on this side is by looking at the time. How can you do that? By just hovering over here on the right side of the trades. When I hover over this time, I can see 10:58:02. So if I, for example, go for trades, how can I also do that? I can, for example, click on the token that he bought, and I can see his buy position and his sell position. So I just scroll down, we can see here all his sells, and I can see on the right bottom side, the first buy, which was on the 16th of November at 5:03:55. And you see the first sell was a lot later, meaning even 1 day later when he started selling. This is a great sign because this means when you enter 1 minute after him and then exit 1 minute after him, you are still in profit. So to understand the sniper theory is when people get in, price goes up, after you get in, he sells and you get out here. So he gets out in profit and you get out negative. How to be aware of it? Check the time. So the time needs to be more than 3 minutes. And what we can do here when I check those wallets, I just click on every single of those tokens where I can see and see his performance. So for example, Chill Guy, I can click on it. I can see right away the total profit of 11,000%. I can then check the timing, which I can see, okay, he entered 3 days ago and exited 2 days ago. From that moment, he started selling. To give you here even more explanation about what you can see, you see the sells in total USD, you see the amount of token that he sold, and you see the price for what he sold for, plus the time. So you see here, he bought for $1,600, 10 million of the tokens, and 1 day later, he started selling it. 968,000 of the token for 4,800%, then 1 million for 5,000, 500,000 tokens for 3,000, and so on. So this was a pretty good trade. Let's look in the next one. Next one is cent. You can see here, okay, it's plus minus 0. He's still not selling and he's still holding. Okay, we just go on to the next one. We can see here, he bought another one with minus 45%. This also happens, but we have to look at the full picture. So we just move on to the next one. You can see here, bought here Skibbity and another 11,000%. Let's check the time. You can see here, okay, this is now an older trade because he bought it like 40 days ago was the last buy. And the one before was even 150 days ago. So even when he made here 11,000%, this is a very long-term hold. So then, okay, we can go into the next one. We see the next one, which is here another 80%, still holding it. So even when we see here, okay, all the tokens that he's buying, he's holding it for a little bit longer time, but he's not buying too many different tokens. And that's also important because there is people that like to buy 30 or 50 different tokens, and maybe 10 of those and all of the rest, they just leave it. How can you track that? By just looking on the left side. If the token they buy, they also sell it. And if the more of those tokens are always being sold, this is a very good sign. So this wallet is okay. It's not the best one, but we can definitely work with it. So we can then just jump to the next one. And we can go further for another investigation of other trades. So for example, let's hover over this one. And we will see here another 92% of win rate. So let's jump deeper into that. So we can see here right away, okay, his win rate is 92%. His total PLN is positive. Unrealized profit is also positive. And the last 7 days, he only made 21%. So that's not the best case, but still, I'm looking deeper into the trades. So how is he performing right now? So we can look deeper into that and we can then see how his performance is. So with this trade, you can see 77%. And the first thing that I always mention, number one priority, timing, is the trade when he's entering far enough to the sell when he's exiting. We can also see here, he bought 20 hours ago. The first sell was 12 hours later, meaning that 8 hours in between, which is a very good sign because you are not entering to some sniper that's just getting your liquidity. The next one, you can see Ari is here entering 89%. So we can just, okay, scroll down. We can see this guy's, there's too many sells. So that's also sometimes the case that you don't see the buys, but you can see 89%. And all of these trades are older. Some of them are 3 days, 21 hours, 20 hours, and he's selling now. So it's also a very good sign and he's making profit of it. Next one we can see here is Chill Guys. He's making 2,344%. So also a very good sign here, meaning he got a very good entry at the beginning and he's selling right after. The next one we can check is Skills, which he bought not at the beginning, also a very good sign, but right before the pump, and then selling it right after for 363%. So also a very good sign. And we can see all the tokens that he's buying right now, he's also then selling. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see too many projects where we click on it and we only see the buys, but we also want to see the sells. And in best case scenario, the buys and the sells are not too far from each other. So here we have also another okay wallet that we can look deeper into it. And especially when I tell okay wallets, meaning that you can put it on your list, write down the wallets on a list. Let's make a top 10. And then if you look through other lists and other wallets, you can always then tell by yourself, is this wallet that I'm checking right now better than the one that I looked up before, or is it worse? And you make your first own top 10 list. And then you just take the first top 3 of this list and put it into your wallet. What do you do with that? I always say, take one practice test, meaning all these 3 wallets that we then choose, we can put it in, and we only trade with a test amount of, let's say, $5 per trade, or even less, $3 per trade. This is only the case so you can see 24 hours, how is the performance of this trader live on your account. Are you seeing more green pictures or are you seeing more red pictures? Based on that, you can then choose after 1 day if you want to keep him in your wallet and you want to then scale up the amounts that you want to trade with, Or do you want to delete it and get another trader in? So same scenario here. Let's do it one more time. We just go to the wallet and we go for the trades. So we can see here, okay, this one, for example, one thing that I always look for is also the soul balance. So if someone has a 0 soul balance, this means that, for example, this guy doesn't have any Solana on his wallet, meaning he probably won't be copying with this wallet anymore. So, okay, we just keep on going then from there. So you can see here, there is no win rate. So we just move on. Next one, there is also no win rate. So we just move on. So then if we just fast forward here, you can also see here, okay, there is also 74% win rate, not that interesting. We can see here, there's no win rate. The next one, let's see here, 95% win rate. The guy entered with $400, exited with $60,000. So what can we do? We click on that wallet and we look deeper into it. So first thing that we do is we look here, win rate is good. Last 7 days is 500%. Total PLL is very good. Unrealized profits is also positive. All of his distribution, we see that this guy is trading for a high amount of time because he has 328 trades, meaning that this percentage and all the data that we see is probably very accurate because it's not just some free trades or 5 trades that this guy's trading right now. And we can see most of the trades are between 0 and 200%. A lot of trades are also over 500% and only 48 trades between 0 and -50. So what we do now is we look into every single trade. We look at the timing. So we just click on the token and we can see the buying entry and selling entry. A very good entry, 21 hours he bought, 4 hours he sold, meaning there is more than 15 hours in between. Next token, we click on it and we see 700% profit. Also amazing. He bought before the pump, meaning we can track down 13 hours at 7:37:27, and he sold at 80:53, meaning even here, 1 hour in between. So then we can go to the next one. We go to next one is 700%. And that's what we do every single time. So we can then check always, how is this trader doing? We can always, very important here, for example, always check also the buys and the sells, meaning how fast is it, for example, here in between. Because here we can see that this guy, and that's one thing that you have to calculate and then also see in your wallet, for example, as an example. Because here you can see, okay, he got very high percentage of trades, but what we can see here, he buys the token bytes. He buys it for 100 at 11:35:20, and you can see he sells it at 11:36. So it's here only 1 minute in between. So we can check and we see, okay, this might be not the best trade because there the timing is in 3 minutes. So that's one alarm. We don't want to see that. We also can see this one more time here. When we look at Mia, he's buying at 11:14:22 and 11:16 he's selling. That's in 2 minutes. That's also not a good sign. And if you look at the trades, you won't be getting the same profits here. So this is now a second alarm, meaning, okay, now you have to decide, do you want to risk it if you already see it 2 times? Because then it also can happen 2, 3, 4, 5 times on your wallet as well. Are you risking it because you see the amount of profits that he's doing? Or you say, I don't want it at all, and you just look out for the next trader. For me personally, after I've seen the first and the second wallet, this would be a more risky wallet that I put on the third position because I don't really prefer such wallets if I have the other wallets that are not doing this. So that's very important here. The timing is in between 3 minutes. This is a red sign for us. We don't want to trade someone like that. Okay. As a last example here is maybe one more thing that I can also show you here, because I think everybody now understands what's important for here to look out for. I also have a picture that we maybe can go through one last time to realize that. The first thing that we don't want to see is the unrealized profit being negative. This is the thing that we see here. Unrealized profit needs to be positive. When it's negative, meaning people buying tokens and they are not selling their losses. They are holding many tokens with minus 80, minus 90%, and they are just not selling it. So an unrealized profit is negative, red sign for us. We don't want to follow this trader. Next one is a token is bought more than 3 times before it's sold. Why is this important? Because I personally want someone that's only entering with one trade and then selling. If you're selling 10 times or 20 times, that's okay, because that's still then accumulating your position. But if he's buying more than 1 times, I always say 1 time is perfect, 2 times is okay, 3 times is the limit, 4 times is too much. Why? Because if someone's buying 4 times or even 6 times or 10 times, this means that if you are entering with a fixed amount of 0.1 Solana, you will not enter in this token with 0.1 Solana, because if he enters 10 times, you will end up in the same token with 1 Solana. So your risk management is way, way, way off. So that's why we look at people that are buying a token. Are they only buying it 1, 2, or 3 times? Everything above, I don't want to follow traders that trade like that. Third thing is buying and selling happens within 3 minutes. That's the thing that we always track in here. That's the first thing that I always then do. It's because I don't want to follow snipers, people that get in fast, get out fast, and you are the one making losses because they grab your liquidity. So we like to see traders that enter in a good position, they're waiting for a little bit, and then they are selling. So the longer this period, the better it is. And the fourth thing is here, buying lots of different tokens without selling any. So we can also sometimes see traders that buy 30 different tokens and you don't see any sell sign, meaning that here on the left side where you see sell, 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 you only see all of the buys. This is not a good sign, because in practice, you will see it like every of those tokens being bought up, meaning after the 30th token, you will get a notification saying not enough balance on your wallet, because all of your Solana are in active trades of tokens and you can't buy any more tokens. Meaning you never want to have your full capital locked in all active trades. So that's why I like to see traders that maybe trade a little bit less, but still they do good profits. Because there is too many people that buy too many tokens. They leave the negative tokens in the wallet. So you will have dead positions that you then have to close manually. And we just don't prefer that. So these are the rules to always go through as a checklist when checking the trades. Last thing here is maybe another thing that I can share with you is what we can do besides tracking only the wallets or only the tokens. We can also go to Discover. So when we go to Discover, we can see all the best traders that are trading now in the last 7 days and have the best P&L. So this data is also updated every single day. And we can now filter for all the wallets, all the traders that made the most P&Ls in the last 7 days. What we will see here in the section is different traders that we see when we look for traders in the token section. Because here, mostly, you will see very fresh wallets that get into trades very early, do a lot of profits. That's why they have this amount of profits. But you will also see here on the right side how many trades they do. Because you can see here, the 7-day transactions, you can say only 8 trades have been done. Only 2 trades have been done. 2 trades have been done. 11 trades have been done. There's only a few that do a little bit more, like 83, 64, 16, and 80. But most of them are very, very low. So what we like to look for is people that have at least a little bit more of trades. So for example, like here, this guy has 14 trades. So we can look then deeper into this guy. So for example, here, we can see his win rate is 100%. This is great. We can see the last 7 days, he has 2,200%. And we can see the total PLN is $13,000. And unrealized profit is positive. So this looks great. What can we do now? We look at the timing. So we go to the tokens. And we see the first thing, I always hover with my mouse over the time. See the buy and the sell. This is a great sign, because he's buying a token and he's selling it right away without going in between with too many other projects. So he's buying at 12:19.58 and he's selling at 17:23.54, meaning there's 5 hours in between. Amazing. This is a great, great sign. He's entering with $200, and we can click on the token. We can see his enter position and his exit position. And he made 320%. Amazing trades. That's what we want to see. So we can go deeper, go to the next one. You can see here, he bought the very good position. He still didn't sold. It was 9 hours ago. The price is still very good, meaning this is not a pump and dump coin, and he's 150% in profit. The next one, you can also see here, he also had a very bad trade. That also happens. But in the end, you have to see all the trades and then figure out, are there more positive trades than negative trades? And do I want to trade with that guy? So he had here a negative trade. Next one we can see is then Astle Dodge. He also had very amazing entry and he made 495%. So let's look at the timing. He entered 13 hours ago and then exited 12 hours ago, meaning 1 hour in between. Amazing. And that's what we can do then on and on. So, okay, we find another one. We can put it on the list and we can type in, for example, Fresh Wallet, because we've seen this guy is trading since only 1 day. So we can then follow him and see if he finds another trades, like, for example, those with 100%. So from then on, we can also here, very important sign, we can see the win rate. So for example, we can track down people that have a good win rate and have also a few of those transactions on here. So another one would be here with 22 trades. So when I go, for example, here with 22 trades, let me share this one more time. I will go here on the wallet and I will see the total win rate. Total win rate, 85%. Last 7 days, 620%. We can see the total P&L is positive. Unrealized profit is also positive. And we can see also here now all of the tokens and the trades. First thing that we do, look at the timing. Meaning we can see the token, wow, he bought it, because we can see the buy and we can see the sell. How much time is between? He bought at 16:00:56 and he sold at 17:10:09. 1 hour in between. We can check the graph. He's entering, he's exiting, and you would have also exited with the same amount of profit, 270%. Amazing. This is a great trade. We look at the next one. We click on that and we see he's entering and he's exiting. How much time in between? 11 hours, 5 hours he sold, meaning 6 hours in between. Another amazing trade, maybe only 30%, but a very healthy trade. This is not just some pump and dump where you have no chance to getting the same profits. This is the trades that we are looking for. And we go further. We then just go to the next one. Okay, we have now 2 good trades. Now we see, okay, on the one side, we have very good trades because it's 100%. But one thing that you need to mention, and this is one thing that we will also add to our red flag list. And what we will see here is that the buy is at the really beginning of the chart. And this is something that we don't really like to see, because this can mean that this guy is also a creator of the tokens, where our sniper bot won't be able to also get the same entry, meaning this buy will not be executed on the sniper bot. Let's see if we can find it one more time. And we also have it here, where you can see the buy is at the same amount, and he's selling then at the top, meaning no chance that you can also get the same profit. So if you see the dot of the buy, when we zoom in, for example, okay, we can't zoom in here, but these dots that I'm talking about, you can see here, if it's at the beginning of the chart, you go to the next trader. Because even when he has great trades besides that, it's not worth the risk to look at too. So then we can move on to the next one. Like, for example, here with 59 transactions. So we can click on that and we can go deeper into that one. So we can see right away his win rate is 100%, which is not always correct, because you can also see right away here he had some loss trades. So we can look deeper into it. The loss trades here means that he had some positive trades before that are more positive than the loss trades that he took. So not always check only the win rate. Look at the full picture. Win rate, including the 7-day P&L, including the unrealized profit, and then including each of the trades that he has been doing. So we can click into the next one, where you can see he buys happy, and he then has 172% in profit. This is not really the best type of charts that we want to see, but we can look into when does he buy and when does he sell. And we can see, for example, here, he's buying 1 hour at 20.09 and he's selling it already 5 minutes after. So even when it's after 3 minutes, it still wouldn't be the best sign to look deeper into. So if I find now another red flag, then I would say, okay, I'm not really that happy with it. I wouldn't really recommend trading with this guy. So here you have 70.51 and 80. Okay, so the time is okay, and he made a good profit. Still, the price looks a little bit choppy for me because here I can see the buy was at the beginning of the chart. So not really the best sign. You can also then see, do we have another one of those? We have 755, but the buy is at the really beginning. So also not really the best sign here. And if you have more of those signs, you don't have to look deeper into it, because if it's for you, you have to say, there's too many red flags, too many bad signs already. It's not worth to look deeper into, because there's so many thousands of wallets out there. Just focus on the good ones where you don't see any of those red flags, and then put them on your list, filter them of the best ones and the worst ones, and then just go with them. So I think for now on, we have all the best things that we have to track on and to see which wallets do we want to follow, what do we want to look at to. And I would now just make a little Q&A session for everybody where you can also either ask your question, we can go through those, and then we will look out also for some wallets that you want to share that we can look out through together, and we will end the session here. As a very last thing also here, I want to mention that with Bitfoot, we also have something that is very amazing, which is called the white paper for everybody that always has some questions about what are the function, how does it work? And we will see at this white paper all the information that we want. So when you scroll down a little bit, you will see all the tools explained exactly on our white paper section, where we can go, for example, for Trade Monitor. All the features are explained exactly step by step, so you know what to do. So the team here invested more than 250 hours of work, so please use it as well. And what I wanted to forward here as well is when we go on the left side to the point error messages, you will also find all the error messages that might be coming up in your wallet, and you're asking yourself, what does it mean? Go to this page and it will explain you exactly what every single error message means and what is the best solution to fix that error message. So you won't be wondering, okay, did I do anything wrong? Here you have all the explanations, very fast forward. When it's saying not enough balance for swap, meaning you don't have enough Solana on your wallet, or you connected a wrong Solana wallet on there. So you have to add either more Solana or change the wallet. Same thing as here. You can see you haven't copied any buys. Very logical error, meaning that you're following a trader where he bought already some tokens before you followed him. Now he's selling those and you didn't buy those tokens. So you can't even sell them. A logical thing. Also here, everything explained. So feel free to go into this error message part and also check out everything. Perfect. I will close out now the
recording stopped.
And we can go through the Q&A session. So one thing that we can also go through here is as people asking, how can I set up a stop loss and a take profit? So when we go to start and when we go, for example, to Trade Monitor, we have a feature where when you click on the token itself, meaning, just let me click one more time. My connection is a little bit bad. Let me close it real quick. And we go to Pro Token. So what we can do here is we also have something called the advanced view. So when I click on the advanced view, it will then also open me all this stop loss and take profit. Meaning here, I can set a point where automatically this token will be sold. Doesn't matter if the trader sells or not. So to do that, for example, I click on stop loss, meaning that when I want trade to be closed, let's say after it hits 10%, because right now I'm at 150%. So I don't want to make it close below 10%. So I just type in, for example, here 10%. And from that moment, every single trade, or when the price goes down to 10%, it automatically closes the trade. To make it 100% work, you have to click on auto sell, because all the transactions that are there with stop loss and take profit are then controlled through the auto sell feature. So meaning you click on that and the stop loss and the take profit are from that moment active. So do the people have to buy minimum 2,700 tokens or more or less? Because now we are in the fourth round with 10 cents. So right now, same as you had before, $250 will be then needed to then have the tokens. Is it possible to add the ability to limit the amount of tokens to be purchased per token to our bot? Also here, we also have a feature that is already in development, meaning after the next 5 to 10 days, this feature will be also available, where you can set up, for example, only one time buy this token, so you don't have to worry if someone buys it 5 or 10 times that you will enter with a bigger amount. For a beginner, how many wallets should we follow and consider good? I personally would always recommend every beginner only start with 1 or 2 wallets. Just because of the reason, because then you can track their results way better. Because if you put in 10 traders, you can't really tell which one is good or which one is bad, because you're getting in transaction every single minute and you can't tell, okay, is this from that trader? Is this trader now better or worse? So if you have only one trader and you have it in for 24 hours, you then can see after 24 hours, was it good or was it bad? Based on that information, you can leave it in and trade with him the next days, or you can put him out. Then you can add another trader if you still leave him in. You have the same results. Okay, you see the trader is good or he's bad. If he's good, you leave him in. You can add another one on the next day. Then you have 2 good traders. You put in the third one. You see his results are not that good. You just put him out. So start slow and scale it up. That's my recommendation for everybody. Then the question is, there is people that asking, they have zero knowledge. And how long will it take to learn those things to become an expert? From my opinion and from my experience that I see now, have a lot of partners, a lot of people that have zero experience at all, just started now, I would say 4 or 5 days ago. They've been in 1 to 2 coaching sessions, and they now started doing it on their own. And after only 2 or 3 days, they already have 1, 2, or even 3 traders that are really, really profitable, that they are following them and they're already making profits. So it's very simple and very fast to get in here if you dive deep into analysis of the wallets. Because if you're looking for wallets, it doesn't mean that it has to be done in 2 minutes. Take your time, take 1 hour, maybe 2 hours. Look for different tokens, make your top 10 list, pick out the best 3 after the day or after the 2 hours that you looked for, and then trade with them. And from that, you will always learn and be better from every single day. So as we only have 5 more minutes, I would say I will share my screen and we will go through some wallets that people also put in here into our into our chat. So let me just share this real quick. GMGM. So first things first, we can see the win rate is not really the best, 48%. We can see the last 7 days is also not really that great, 24%. Yes, this guy made 2.3 million, but he's probably working with a lot of bigger amounts. So we can then look at the distribution of the trades, which is here not really the best what we want to see, because we can see the 0 to minus 50% of the tokens are pretty similar to the 0 to 200%. So this wouldn't be the best wallet that I put on my number top 3 list on the beginning, because right from the numbers that we see here, yes, we can then look into deeper, but what we can also see now is I can see a very high amount of trades. You can see here, this is not just 1 hour, then 5 hour, then 8 hour. This trader is buying like a crazy guy. 1 minute ago, 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 6. He's buying every single second, not even 1 time or even 2 times. This will be too much of a volume from my opinion side. I wouldn't trade this one. So let's jump to the next one. Please open this. And can you check this wallet? Yes. Let's go into the next one. So we can see a win rate of 84%, which is good. You can see the last 7 days, he has 663%, also very good. The total P&L is positive and the unrealized profit is positive. And we look at the distribution, we can see, okay, 22 trades between 0 and 200, 15 trades between 0 and minus 50, and some better trades. So now we look at the timing. The timing also doesn't look too bad, because if you compare this one with the previous one, he's not buying every single minute. Yes, he has some 1 hour ago, some 13 hours ago, but if it's trading like a few hours ago, it also sounds good. So what we can do now is we look for the first sell, because if he's buying now, those might not be selling right now. So he's still holding if he has older ones. So we look into the first sell here, and we can see 1,246%, which is a good sign. And we can also see if we click on 30 days, we can see a very good buying entry and a very good selling motion. So this guy bought 10 days ago and he started selling 7 days ago, meaning 3 days between buy and sell. This is an amazing trade. Would be very recommended. So let's just go to the next one. He then has, oh, let's see if it was only a lucky one or he has multiple ones like that. So we can see here, he has another 580%. He bought 21 at 003647 and he sold 1 hour later, which is also a great sign. So you could also copy the same trade. Very good sign. Another good trade. Let's look in the next one after that. You can see here, he bought one, but he's holding it and it's minus 60%. Okay, also happens. But that's okay, because if you compare it, for example, here you have 500, so times 5, and you here have times 12, you probably could have 5 losses, even with the same as you can see right here, and you would still be in profit. Then we go to Jim. Jim, another one with minus 60. Okay, you can see here, he bought Polkadot. Let's go to NVIDIA. He then has here 60% in profit, but he's still not selling. Still not bad. Go to the next one, VEX. He's buying 160%, and then he bought at 952. And he's selling at 210, meaning there is a few hours in between, which is a great sign. So we like the motion here. Go to the next one. It's again Pro, and he has this. Okay, this was previous one. Let me check. Yes, this was already a previous one, but it's also a good trade. Then we see BTS. Seeing he bought, he still didn't sold, which is also a very good sign if there's high profit and he's still holding it. and he has 483%. Also very good trade. Next one, GM. You can see here, he bought. Now we can see, okay, this is a very long trade because you can see the buy was 133 days ago, and he's now selling it. But still, it's a good trade. There's no red flag, and we can then go to look deeper into it. So we see the buys and the sells are very good in between. There's a few negative trades, but that these things are happening. These are completely regular, and we then can look deeper into it. So from my side, this is a proper wallet that I would definitely try. I would put them into my test wallet for 1 to 2 days, see how the profits are, and especially from the new trades that he's doing right now, and then check it out if I want to stick with him or if I want to go to a different wallet. Let's do one last wallet that we can check here together. So let's check this one. And we can see a good win rate, which is 89%. We can see last 7 days, 123%. See the total P&L of 2.3 million, 38%, and unrealized profit is positive. Good sign. We can see then the distribution, which is also very good because it's very good balanced. 5 and 3 trades between 2 and 500%. 23 trades between 0 and 200, and only 10 trades in the negative. So then we look at the timing. So first thing that I see right now is he's buying a lot. He's not buying in every single minute, which is not really bad, but okay, I can see this from one thing right here. So then I can check all of those trades. So you can see here, okay, these are freshly. So we start off, for example, from the first sells. And here he had Leicester, which he sold with, okay, it's plus minus null. So we can't really see deeper into it, but we can see for the other ones. He's now buying at a very good position, and he's holding 200% profit. So this is good, and he's still not selling. The next one, he's holding for 70%. So he still looks also very good. We can look into the next one, still buying, but it's still in the negative. So what we can see from his movement here and what he's doing is he's buying, but he's buying all those dips. As you can always see his positioning, before it goes up, he's buying dips. So probably he's like a technical analysis that's looking for charts that have in big dips and to getting better entries in here. One thing that I personally don't really like is that he's buying those and he's not really selling. Probably because it's still 2 hours ago. So we can look a little bit deeper and check other trades that he has been doing. So for example, here he has BKT and he's buying and he has 50% profit, which is good because the position you can see he's buying, he's selling, he's buying, he's selling at a very good rate. The buying and the selling is at a very good difference, meaning when there's multiple buys and sells, there's also nowhere he's seeing snipers. Here, the time between is also above 40 minutes, which is a good sign. You can see here another good profit with Anti, 400% profit. Let's switch to 30 days. See if we can see very good entry, very good exit. This guy traded at 22.47 and 11.19. So also that is not too bad. So we can go through those wallets. We can then see, okay, there is no really red flags that I see, besides that there's a lot of trades happening. So I personally might be taking it on a top 3, not a top 1, and then see if I can find better wallets or if I can't find better wallets. And from that, putting in and see how good it goes. So yeah, that was now everything around the whole wallet tracking session. I hope you understood now a little bit more about everything and you know what to look out for. And from there, you can now try it yourself. One thing that I always recommend is, yes, the meme coin is very, very profitable and has a lot of potentials, but there are also risk if you don't look out for those red flags. But that's why we're here. That's why we educate everybody so they can see what to look out for. And from that moment, I always tell, start the first and the second day with the traders very low. Start with $1, $3, $5, because when they do 10 trades, 15 trades, and all of them are losses, it won't hurt you because it's only $10 then in the end, or $15 in the end. Start low, and when it's good, you can see the results with green pictures are way more than red pictures. Just scale up to $30, $50. You can scale up to $100. And with this way, you are also then growing with your portfolio. So good. Thank you very much, everybody. It was a very long session today, but I hope everybody could take a lot of information with yourself. And I wish you all the best, and we see us next time.